Hi, boys and girls. My name is Miss Melissa, and I am a teaching artist in the PACE Art program. I am here today to create an art lesson with you. In your ELA class, you have read The Panther. Well, today we're going to draw a narrative just like this, based on that story. Well, what's a narrative? A narrative tells a story, and it tells about the characters, the setting, and the important events. Are you ready to draw a narrative with me today? Great! Well, let me show you the supplies. You are going to need one white sheet of paper, a pencil, and an eraser, okay? And a box of crayons. Since we are retelling the story about the panther, I thought I would show you these lines and shapes because we're going to be using both of these to draw the narrative. So let's go over these together. This is a straight line. Say it with me. Straight line. This one is a curvy line. And if you want to, with your magic wand, your finger, whatever you want, in the air, you can draw them with me as I say them, okay? This one is a zigzag. Very good. Zigzag line. And this one is a wavy line. You can make some big waves in the air. Now let's go over these basic shapes together. Triangle, circle, and oval. Very good. Now, guess what? We're going to be using the straight line to create the stems of the flowers that were outside the cave. We're going to be using a curvy line to draw leaves, flowers, and bushes because all of these types of plants were right outside the cave of the panther. We're actually going to use this wavy line to draw the cave, and we're going to use the zigzag line to make some of the leaves and the fur for the fox. And guess what we're going to use these shapes for? We are going to use these shapes to draw the fox and the panther. Now we can start drawing the narrative of the panther. Do you remember who the characters were in the story? I'll give you a hint. There were 4 and they were all animals. The panther, the fox, the owl, and the hare. Very good. Now, what was the setting, which means where did it take place? If you were thinking right outside the panther's cave, you are correct. Let's start drawing the cave. With your pencil, what I want you to do is make a dot and try to find the center of your paper, wherever you think it is. Guess where the middle or the center is, okay? Now we're going to go a little bit below that. You can make a line or a dot. And we're going to move it over. About right here, X marks the spot, is where we're going to start drawing, okay? So we can erase the dot. And we can erase the line. I'm going to draw right where my X is. So we made a dot for the center. We moved it down and a little bit over. Right here is where we're going to start the cave. It's going to kind of make like a rainbow, and we're going to use straight and wavy lines. So watch. I want you to draw a straight line going all the way across. Now I'm going to be using a pencil that's a little darker so you could see. but you just use your pencil. Draw a straight line all the way across, and we're going to draw a wavy rainbow. And that is going to be the inside of the cave. We made it with a wavy line. Very good. Now, what do we know about the cave? It had a lot of plants, right? So let's draw some bushes, leaves, and flowers. So we're going to use a curvy line, bump, bump, and bump. You can draw some bumps for the bushes, right? I'm going to draw some over here too. I'm using a curvy line, just like that. This is going to be, we're going to put lots of plants across the cave. Now let's draw 2 flowers. Flowers have stems. I just drew 2 straight lines, and we're going to use our curvy line to make, look, curve, curve, curve. We're going to make some flowers, just like that. However you want to make flowers, it's fine. I thought, why don't we go ahead and put some more on this side? I'm still using my curvy line to draw 2 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So far we have the cave with some wavy lines, 2 bushes with curves, and some flowers on each side with straight and curvy lines. So now we have one more part. If you remember the story, there were lots of leaves, right? So if you watch, I'm going to show you how to draw leaves with curvy and zigzag lines. Let's draw a curve, just a little curve, from the top of the cave all the way up. And it doesn't have to be in the exact same spot. Now watch. Let's make a big curve on one side and a big curve on that side. That's going to be a giant leaf. And then you can draw some curvy lines showing the veins of the leaf if you want to. Why don't we try that again? Maybe we can put a leaf going in this direction. We can draw a curvy line with another big curve and another big curve over here. With some curvy lines coming out of the stem. I thought we could draw maybe 2 more. We're going to draw a curvy line, but this time, why don't we try some zigzag shaped leaves? The curvy line's going to stay in the middle, just like these 2. Now watch. Zig, zag, zig, zag. I like these types of leaves. See that? Maybe we can draw one over here. Curvy line. Now watch. Zig, zag, zig, zag. And again, you can draw some lines inside the leaf showing the veins. We just created the setting. Now, what do we know about the panther? Can you tell me what you know about the panther? If you remember, he was growing old, right? And he was sick and he couldn't hunt for his food anymore. So he had to be clever to be able to eat. And what did he end up doing? Do you remember? He tricked, very good, he tricked 2 animals into going into the cave, right? And they never came out. So he ate them. But he didn't trick one animal. So why don't we start with drawing the panther? What I want you to do is just copy off of me. So do you see how the cave, this is really the ground, but we don't really have to show that because, it goes into the cave. But if you want to draw a line, you can draw a line to help you, okay? Now, almost halfway from here, we're gonna draw the panther on this side. I want you to draw like an oval. That's gonna be his paw, okay? And we're gonna draw some curvy lines to show his feet. And then we're gonna make a bigger oval. Like pretend it was, it's kind of hiding, right? So almost a big oval like this. And then we're gonna make that's gonna be for his body, right? Now let's make his other paw come out on this side. See, so he has his front paw from his right, his front paw from his left, and now we're gonna make the head, and the head's gonna be a circle. It's going to cross over the body, and I want you to copy off of me. About that big. It should be, pretty good size, just like that. And you could always use your eraser. We can give him some ears, right? Now I want you we're gonna erase this, but leave this for right now. So you can make some curvy lines for his ears. And keep in mind, yours is not going to look exactly like mine. Yours is not gonna look exactly like anyone's. If you follow the steps, it's going to be great in your own way. And then you get to add color. So just follow along. Now, if this is the circle, we're gonna put a dot in the middle. That's gonna be where we start the eyes. So let's move across and let's draw 2 ovals, one on each side of the dot. Do you see that? And we could draw the circles inside if you want and make the pupil, however you want to do it, because we're going to color it anyway. Now, I want you to erase the dot with me. We don't need it. Erase the dot. That just helped us draw the eyes. Okay? Very good. Now, what I want you to do is right below that, I want you to draw I guess let's go ahead and erase. Let's go ahead and erase this part that's going through the face. Keep the circle and keep the oval. We're just getting rid of, because it's gonna mess me up. Yeah, so just keep your circle, keep your oval, but get rid of the oval inside of the circle. All right, so now we're gonna draw an upside down triangle for his nose. Now it looks funny right now, but just keep following along. Ready? All right, now let's give him some eyebrows. Now watch. We're going to, now we put 2 curves for the eyebrows. We put a triangle for the nose. Now watch, we're gonna connect the eyebrows to the nose. You're gonna curve in and come out. Watch, curve in and come out. Do you see that? Basically, you're connecting his eyebrows to his nose. Now we're gonna draw 2 more curvy lines. Right from the tip of the nose, ready? Curve, curve. You see it's starting to look more like a panther. Now, where the mouth ended on both sides, you're going to draw another curve. Just like that. And one like that. Check it out. So now you have This is going to be the tongue. That's the lower part of his mouth. And if you want to add something in the ears, you can. Very good job on the panther. If I could, I would probably go back. I feel like his paw looks a little long, so if in this, maybe his body could be a little bit bigger. So you can always adjust. That's the cool thing about drawing. I'm gonna put his body there. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the paw in just a little bit. So go ahead and adjust something if you need to. There we go. I always draw animals with shapes, but once you do that, you can kind of start to make it your own, right? I don't know if it's the ears that bother me, or maybe he needs, I think his mouth needs to come down a little more. There we go. And I think this, because panthers don't have really big ears, right? So I'm just making some, there we go. I'm making some adjustments, and that's pretty much what artists do, right? So I'm much happier. I made his paw a little shorter. I pushed it over. I made his body a little bit taller. I made his mouth a little bit longer, and I made his ears a little bit shorter. And that's why we have pencils and erasers, right? Okay, so what happened next in the story? Remember I told you the panther wasn't feeling good? He couldn't hunt? What animal did he trick? Very good. He tricked the owl. He told the owl to come visit him because he wasn't feeling good and he wanted company. But the owl never came out, right? So, owls are birds. Birds have what type of feet? Claws. We are going to draw the footprints of the owl's feet. Ready? Now, when you have footprints, you walk side by side. So we're going to have two prints, pretty close to each other. Watch how to draw a bird's footprint. We're going to make a letter V, and then we're going to zigzag, just like that. Okay? Let's make the letter V. Zigzag, zigzag, zig. I'm going to keep drawing it so you'll get it. V, ready? Zigzag, zigzag, zig. It almost looks like three little triangles. Let's make a letter V. Zigzag, zigzag, zig. Letter V. Zigzag, zigzag, zig. That sounds funny. And remember the owl's going to make his way into the cave. And as you get into the cave, you can draw the footprints a little smaller, right? To give the illusion that they're disappearing. So, letter V, zigzag, zigzag. You're using a zigzag line, right? So that's the footprints of the owl. Now, what other animal came to visit with the panther that he tricked into staying? The hare, which is a rabbit, right? Did the hare come out the cave? No. So we are going to draw the hare's footprints just to show that he was there. And rabbits have long feet, so that's pretty easy. We can just make some ovals. Very good. Now, as we go into the cave, his footprints are going to get a little bit smaller. Imagine if you were walking into the cave. Now, we have one more animal that came to visit the panther. And the panther tried to trick this animal into going into the cave. Did it work? No. Do you remember this animal? It was the fox. Very good. Why did the fox not go into the cave? He didn't see the footprints of the owl and the bunny come out, but he saw them going in. So he knew that he ate those animals and he didn't trust them. So let's go ahead and draw the fox. Now, it's going to be a little bit smaller than the panther, right? His face is going to be smaller. We're going to draw the fox on the bottom part of our picture. So what I want you to do is draw an oval with me, a long oval about right here. Leave some space. Then we're going to draw a smaller oval standing up. It's not going to be as long as this one. It's going to stand up, right? And then now we're going to draw a circle. Here's the body, here's the neck, and here is the head. And then I want you to kind of draw like, you know, a mouth open like that. It almost looks like a letter M on its side. This is going to be the fox's mouth. Now you need your eraser, okay? You are going to erase the inside of the shapes. Now I can use my darker pencil. Oh, I forgot to erase the part of the mouth. Okay. So watch, this is what it's going to look like. I just erased the inside of those 3 shapes. So do that, and then go ahead and darken the outside with your pencil. Now watch the magic begin. Let's put 2 tall ears, an eye, and a nose. The ears we made triangles with, the nose a dot, and the eyes a dot, right? Now foxes have these big tails. So we're gonna make an oval, but it's gonna go to a point. See that? So it's like an oval, but it comes to a point. And he has some zigzag lines for fur, right? Now the bottom part of his face and belly is white, right? And a fox is orange, but he has a hind leg. So let's make a curve to show the hind leg. Okay, now we're going to draw a little oval to show his leg and a longer oval for his feet. A little oval for the back leg and a longer one for his feet. A little oval, a bigger one for his foot. A little oval, a bigger one for his foot. So now we drew the legs and feet of the fox. Now the bottom part of his mouth and his belly, let's draw the fur with a zigzag line. Do you see that? All of this is going to be white. So as you're drawing, I don't know if you need to adjust your picture. I might adjust mine a little bit. So I'm going to go over the parts. He has pretty tall ears. All right, let's go over the parts. Once you outline the body, you made a oval tail, right? You drew his hind leg, and we use zigzag lines to show the fur on his tail and his belly. We used ovals to draw little ovals. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4 to draw his legs, and bigger ovals to draw his feet. Boys and girls, we just finished drawing the narrative of the panther. I'm going to show you some tricks on how you can color this, and then I'll show you what it looks like colored, okay? So there are 3 things you can do when coloring to really help you with your picture. One thing you can do is you can always trace, right? You can trace, which means go over the pencil drawing. It makes it darker. Everybody say trace. Trace, good. You can color hard. Look at that. I'll just do a little part. And you can start with me. You can start coloring your picture. Now you want to make sure it looks realistic, right? That means to make it look real. So of course we're going to have green stems and leaves, unless it's the fall time. So far I've traced, I colored hard, and now I'm going to color soft. And this is what we call the amount of pressure you apply. You can color soft or hard. All right, so far we have tracing, coloring hard and soft, right? And one more thing, ready? You can mix colors. If I wanted a dark cave, I would color the top part black, and then I might go over it in brown to mix. And I'm going to show you this on my picture. So ready? Repeat after me. Tracing, the amount of pressure for hard and soft, and mixing colors. If you do those three things, your picture will really have a lot of variety. Let me show you what it looks like finished. You could see where I traced the colors. You could see where I colored hard, where I colored soft. I kept the dirt, just a regular brown, and I mixed the black and the brown in the cave. Do you see that? I didn't color my panther too dark because I wanted to see all the facial features that he was making. I wanted to see the nose and the mouth. So I didn't color him too dark. I traced him. And then the outside of the cave, I just did really light with a light brown. Oh, well, look, I didn't draw the bush over here. I could do that real quick. It seems like it needs something. We can actually draw, you know, the fox standing in front of a bush. Well, boys and girls, I think you did a fantastic job drawing the narrative of the panther with me. And I hope you have fun coloring it. And if you don't get to finish in class, that's fine. You can take it home. Well, thanks for joining me today. We learned about so many things. We learned how to draw a narrative. Do you remember what a narrative is? Very good. It's a picture that tells a story. And what are the three parts of a narrative? If you were thinking, the characters, the setting, and the important events, good job. As you go through the rest of your week, the next time you read a story that has characters, setting, and events, I hope that you draw that story's narrative. And remember, you can draw anything as long as you draw lines and shapes. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time.